Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Fall Football 2000 in the South Bay. Happy football season to you. This is Dave Marks with Channel 22 Sports. Tonight, we will be bringing you this game that will take place between La Mirada and Leuzinger. Leuzinger Olympians on the road. Game number 2 for them, La Mirada Matadors. This is game number 2 for them. Both teams are 1-0. This is a non-conference game. The Leuzinger Olympians, as you are probably aware, are in the Bay League, which has dropped to Division III this year. La Mirada, they are a Division III team, and they hail from La Mirada, California. It is a comfortable but somewhat humid night here in La Mirada. This is a nice facility, a good stadium. It is a somewhat festive but apprehensive crowd. These are teams that are both predicted to do well in their respective divisions. Leuzinger comes in ranked number 4 according to the Torrance Daily Breeze, and La Mirada comes in ranked number 1 in a few preseason polls in Division 6. And when you wonder about the talent levels between the different divisions, well, the talent disparity is not that great. It's just all a matter of a couple of things in style of play. As you know, Leuzinger are a type of team that likes to run, and this season and our telecast is underway. La Mirada won the toss, and they will be receiving. That's being run by Tim McLean. Tim McLean is going to be hit at about the 35-yard line. And that is where La Mirada will put the ball in play, 1st and 10. Let's take a look at the starting offense tonight for La Mirada. Starting at quarterback will be Eric Meyer. He is a highly touted and well-recruited quarterback. Chris Rudiger will be in the backfield as you take a look at head coach right there and the coaching staff for La Mirada. On the offensive line should be Josh Zaha, Andy Acevedo, Eric Spears, Anthony Gallegos. And the receivers, Brett Erickson, the tight end, Jarrell Shabers, and Robert Price. Single back in the backfield. Throwing out to the right, and that's Price making a catch. Good yardage downfield, cuts it toward the inside, looking for the block. He's headed toward the end zone. I don't think they're going to get there. And on the first play of the ball game, welcome to the new football season. How about that? What a way to start the season. A little slant to the right. And you can't be any hotter than that. This is a team that scored 59 points last week in their opening round win. And they're on the board, play number 1. They had a chance to get him right there, but once he slipped, he lost all possibility. So it is a 62-yard touchdown pass. First play of the game from Meyer to Robert Price. Point after touchdown, and the kick is good. So it is 7-0, and only 20 seconds have ticked off the clock here at La Mirada. And we were going to tell you about the Leuzinger defense, but on that first play, they obviously did not show up. So we'll get a chance to tell you about the Leuzinger defense such as it is next time they have an opportunity to play defense. They obviously didn't play it on that series right there. Last week, La Mirada killed El Dorado by the count of 59-23. And Leuzinger won big up at Camarillo, so both of these teams can score. Leuzinger will get the ball now on the kickoff. And just a little simple pass out there into the flat. Nobody able to bring down Robert Price. And Robert Price, he had 5 receptions last week for 116 yards, and that's his 4th touchdown on the year. So Leuzinger will get the ball on offense. As they go to the offense, it is going to be quite a different team than the team that you saw last season that made it to the Final Four in Division II and came in 2nd in the Bay League. Whole host of new players, and this is one of them here, Lielo. And he is taken down at the 25-yard line. So let's take a look at the Leuzinger offense. David Guerin will be moving from the offensive line to start at quarterback this year. Elias Ellis will be the feature back. He'll be in the backfield. And, of course, as you know, Leuzinger plays the wing T, so they can go to a host of backs, but Elias Ellis is the feature. On the offensive line, look for David Avalos, Victor McClendon, Willie Reynolds, Grant Roberts, and Ellis Vernon. And they basically run the 3 tight ends, Jerome Avalu, Mafu Lialu, and they're getting the handoff is Ronnie Bro. Ronnie Bro, one of the new backs. He gets some positive yards. Looks like he's up close to a first down. Andre Rochelle, also one of the other tight ends for Leuzinger. We mentioned that Leuzinger features Elias Ellis. He was one of 4 backs that they went to last season. Well, this season, running back by committee, he'll get the bulk of the carries, but you saw Ronnie Bro there with that particular carry, and he got the big first down. Leuzinger this season, coached by Mike Witt in his first year. Guerin. They give it straight up the middle, and there's Ellis. Ellis bowling over a couple of people. He'll get it to about the midfield line. Ellis had a fine game last week. As we take a look at the La Mirada starting defense, on the line, they'll have Scott Trinidad, Travis Walker, and Adam Watson, and Christos Petranos. Linebackers, they can feature Brandon Aho, Justin Belisenor, depending on what combination they're going to run. Brett Erickson is also on the line. Defensive backs, Kenny Thompson, Anthony Veal, and Jarrell Shavers. And off going around right side with a good positive run for the Leuzinger Olympians. That's Lialu. Lialu on another run. So we've seen on this first series of plays for the Leuzinger Olympians, Elias Ellis, Ronnie Bro, and Mafu Lialu. Lialu can also play receiver. He is a senior. And I believe we had a flag on the play here. I'm going to see how this call will go. It's going against Leuzinger. They're marching back upfield. So the Leuzinger Olympians last year were a team that ran, did not pass the ball very often, did not kick very often. They don't go for 2-point conversions or field goals. And when you run the ball quite a bit, you are going to be prone to the clip. And that's what happened here. During the midway point of last season, they picked up a lot of big clipping penalties that set some of their drives back. But for the most part here, with it first and about 14, situation where you might attempt to pass, but they've got that tight wing tee, and I don't think they're going to go to it. As they hand it off again, another flag comes in as Lealu gets it up to about the 49-yard line. Stop made by Ricky Lepe, and it looks like we're going to have another call going against the Leuzinger Olympians. That's Lepe making the stop for La Mirada, and one of the Olympians have held. Chris Rudiger, he's a two-way player, running back and one of the big linebackers. He is already committed to Stanford, so he will be playing in the Pac-10 for the Stanford Cardinals next year. So another penalty on the Leuzinger Olympians with about 10:27 to go in the first quarter. La Mirada on the board, their first play from scrimmage. 62-yard touchdown pass, Eric Meyer to Robert Price. Leuzinger facing a first and forever. And they're going to try to run it straight up the middle, and running the ball up the middle successfully for a couple of yards. Looks like Ronnie Bro on the carry. Second carry for him tonight. And it's going to be second, and looks to be about 19 or so for a first down. Drive started out well here, this first drive for Leuzinger, but the clipping and the holding penalty setting them back. Tight wing tee again. This time they give on the reverse. Not many yards to be had there. Victor McClendon taking it on the reverse. And McClendon getting that reverse. It's going to be third down. And looks to be about 16 to go for the first down. We mentioned Leuzinger first-year coach Mike Witt. He was an assistant for 6 years, graduated Hawthorne High, went to Loyola Marymount on a baseball scholarship, graduated from Cal State Dominguez. Under fire this year, trying to take a team back to the playoffs. Is Guerin's first pass attempt, and it's incomplete. So Guerin's first pass attempt of the night, looking downfield. Pass intended down there for Ronnie Bro, and it's going to bring up a fourth down. The Leuzinger Olympians will have to get into punt formation. So the first drive being stalled by 2 big penalties. Not the way they would want to start on their first road game of the year after a successful week last week. And they'll be kicking the ball away. Looking to go on defense for the second time. Now we get a whistle. David Guerin is going to do the punting. He is the punter and the quarterback, obviously. Last year played on the line. And he'll be awaiting the snap, trying to get that good punt away. Little wobbly, end over end. It's going to be fielded. And Robert Price with a flag coming in. Flag coming in after the play, maybe a late hit or a face mask. And as the officials pointed out, they say it's going to be a clip going against La Mirada. So that'll set them back. As we're going to take a look here. So pick the flag up. Official in the white hat. You always have, they're not mic'd here tonight, but you got to follow him. And he kind of tells you what's going on. Gives you the infraction call. And so La Mirada will be starting their second drive way back. It looks to be about, as they mark it, still going to mark this one off. Half the distance. Oh, they're going to start it right at about the 20. Now they're marking it back even more. So it's about the 17, 18-yard line. La Mirada will start their second drive of the night. We're in the first quarter. And there you see Price on the run. And it looked like, they said Brandon Aho came in and was guilty of the clip. So Meyer throwing that, here's that same play again, but to a different runner. This is Shavers, and Shavers is going to be thrown out of bounds. So they go the same play, but this time they throw it to Shavers, who's a bigger wide receiver, and he gets positive yards up to about the midfield stripe. Victor McClendon threw him out of bounds hard. So they're 2 for 2 tonight. Use the same play twice. Leuzinger defense starting out, defensive line. Derek Winston should be back in there. Meyer leading him up to the line. Single back in the backfield. And their third pass attempt of the night. There's Price again. Price with a catch. Looks to put the move on, and he'll get out of bounds. Price with about 15 yards on the pickup. And La Mirada making it look easy. They're 3 for 3. The Leuzinger defense was not quite as ballyhooed last year as the offense, but the defense was a very good defense, particularly in stopping the run. Well, they have not had to worry about stopping the run. They've been passed on 3 times successfully for big first downs. Meyer going for pass number 4, and it's complete again to Price on the slant in. Putting the moves on to the outside, and he's finally spun down and out of bounds. So they're 4 for 4. Price with a catch. That's his third catch of the night. And the La Mirada Matadors will have it just outside the 10-yard line. It will be 1st and 10 from about the 10.5. Marching the ball down the field with precision. They have not handed the ball off yet. And the Leuzinger defense is yet to make a stand. Rushing 4 down linemen, playing it in tight. This time they go to the handoff, and they're tripped at the line. That was Rudiger carrying the ball. And he got maybe a yard on the play, so that's the first run attempt of the night, and the Leuzinger Olympians there to meet it. Most of the opponents that Leuzinger plays in the Bay League tend to be rushing sort of teams. This, of course, is a team that's billed as a 50-50 rush and pass sort of offense. We've seen basically all pass here tonight, and on this 2nd and long, see what Meyer will elect to do. Going to pitch it out. And a good move headed toward the end zone, in there for the touchdown. Junior Vaca on the touchdown on the pitch, but there's a flag on the play. We'll discuss this one. And depending on who we see starting to applaud, looks like the call is going to go against the Matadors. It's going to be a clip, so the second run of the night for La Mirada, and they're called for a clip. Leuzinger's first drive was stalled on a holding and a clip. So far, the early score in this ball game with 7:41 to go in the first quarter is the very successful pass attack for La Mirada. And both teams having a little bit of a shaky time running the ball. This penalty will set the ball back to about the 18 or so yard line. It'll bring up second and about 18 yards to go. There's Price in there, number 1. He's caught 4 passes tonight. Single back in the backfield as Meyer leads him up to the line. Go in motion, back to throw. He has time. Gonna lob one toward the end zone, and it is. Is he in? He's in there, or out at the 1 yard line. Out of bounds at the 1 yard line. I do think he has enough for the first down. And that's just a pretty hookup. Well run pass route there by Price. He's got time, and when you give him time, just put it in the right place. And there's a nice catch by Price, just stepping right out of the 1 yard line. He did not get a first down. So it is actually going to be a 3rd and goal from the 1. Big play here. La Mirada already up 7-0. Single back in the backfield straight ahead is Meyer. And he's in there for the second touchdown of the night for La Mirada. Straight ahead, Eric Meyer, a 1 yard plunge. And at the 7:32 mark of the first quarter, 13-0 for the home team, La Mirada Matadors. They have done it basically by the pass. Meyer is 5 for 5 on his pass attempts. And there you see the run. Go Big Blue. Point after touchdown attempt. And that kick looks to be good. It's 14-0 at the 7:32 mark of this first quarter. Leuzinger Olympians down. Well, last season, on the games that we did for these Leuzinger Olympians, they were never basically routed in any of the contests. As you see the sun going down behind the mountains at a pretty shot here, twilight time. It is a comfortable night weather-wise. A night to forego the shirt and tie. You just got to come Hawaiian style here tonight. And it has been a successful first quarter for those La Mirada Matadors, who are ranked number 1 in Division 6. So for those of you who think that when you drop down divisions, there's that real big disparity, not so, not always so. Head coach John Mele, La Mirada, brought his team ready to play tonight. They knew they would probably have their hands full with a tough Leuzinger offensive team, but thus far it has been the Leuzinger defense that has yet to show up. Here's the kickoff. Heading deep. And it's going to be fielded. There's Leilu up the middle. Still on his feet, and he's got a good run. So a good run for the senior, Mafua Leilu. A lot of these Leuzinger Olympians were on the JV last year, and he one of them. Last year's JV for Leuzinger had a very good year. As you see, Bro and Leilu both looking like center fielders going for a pop-up. Leilu takes it, and he got a good run there. Took it up to about the 41-yard line, so Leuzinger trailing by 14 will have the ball in pretty good field position as they go to the tight wing T. Guerin, the quarterback. And they give it to Bro. Bro looking for some tough yards, and defense stacked in there in the box waiting for him. A host of blue jerseys there to bring him down. Not much of a gain on the play, if any. And it looked like Chris Rudiger got in there for La Mirada. It's going to be 2nd and 10, no gain on the play. Last year, Leuzinger is successful running 98% of the time. It appears that that's going to be the philosophy again this year. On the 2nd and long. Going to hand it off again. They'll try to get to the outside. Rochelle throwing a block, and Lialo putting his head down. And a big block coming from the outside to help spring in for some extra yards. Andre Rochelle. He's been through the wars. He's a senior. And he's the key man on that play, picking up the first down. Well, he spoke to the Leuzinger coaching staff before the game. I did, speaking to Mike Witt and assistant coach Jamal Dismuke. And you ask them about things such as the ability to pass the ball and the ability to kick one-point conversions. Their philosophy is we're simply going to go for two-point conversions. This time they're meeting behind the line, and he's brought down. Kenny Thompson getting in there, coming up from the defensive back position. As Ronnie Bro is brought down, they're going to lose about 5. And, you know, when you're in a situation where the defense does not have to respect the passing game, you can pretty much put 11 men on the line. I know Rufus Washington, is not here tonight. And that is something that Rufus usually harps on every week, about the inability of the Leuzinger offense to be unpredictable. They're going to try to throw here, and Guerin's not going to get very much out of that. Looked like they were trying a play action right there, and not able to work. He gets a couple of positive yards, but still going to be way short of the first down. It's going to be about 3rd and 13 or 14 to go. The 5:41 mark of the first quarter, 14-0 in favor of the La Mirada Matadors. This, of course, a passing type situation. Leuzinger taking a long time in the huddle, play coming in from the sideline. And they've got to be careful of that play clock. Pretty slow lining it up. Guerin at quarterback, calling it. And they give it on the handoff, and going to be trapped in the backfield. Mafu Leola not getting anywhere, and it's a 4th down. Loses a couple of yards. It's about 4th and 18. So the second losing a drive of the night. This time it was not penalties that stalled it. This time it was predictable offense, leading to a defense that was able to pack it in and get in the backfield. So this will bring up a punt on the 4th and 18. Guerin to do the punting. Robert Beauprice back deep. He's already had a touchdown. He'll be trying to return this punt. Gets the punt off. And it's going to take a Leuzinger bounce and be down to inside the 20-yard line. And that's where La Mirada Matadors will put it in play. 1st and 10. They're already ahead 14-0. Well, here in the first quarter, 4:17 mark to go. It'll be another test for the Leuzinger defense. That has not come up too big in the first 2 defensive stands. Eric Meyer has been in there big. He's 5 for 5 and rushed for a touchdown from 1 yard. Had no pressure on him. This time the ball is dropped as Vaca got it on the draw play. Dropped the handoff, little mishandle there. And Vaca loses yards. Flag comes in there late. That was a draw play. When you're passing that successful all night, that's the sort of play you want to call, but little mishandle here as Vaca's not able to get it. He recovered his own fumble, but they lose yards, and in addition, there's a holding penalty. Holding penalty charged against La Mirada. Leuzinger declines the penalty. They'll take the loss of yards and the loss of down. It's going to be about 2nd and 16 for La Mirada. Goodman Stadium, that is the home side. They're packed in here on this comfortable night. In the shotgun formation this time. A little bit of a rush on, and that's way overthrown. First incompletion of the night for Eric Meyer. Eric Meyer, the senior. As you see, Mike Witt, defensive coach last year under Don Markham. Don Markham, if you're wondering, has moved on to Rialto. He came down from Oregon last year, so Mike Witt playing the Al Groh role, if you will. Al Groh, Ray Handley. Well, you don't want to say Ray. Let's go for Al Groh, not Ray Handley. How about that? This is 3rd and about 15. Eric Meyer in a passing situation. Got some time. Steps up. Those angling the right, incomplete. Pass intended out there on the right side for Gerald Shavers, who had a catch earlier. And it's going to bring up a 4th down, and for the first time on the night, Leuzinger defense is held, aided by a fumble on 1st down and a penalty. And La Mirada will be forced to punt. Nate Ortell is the punter. And he'll have to punt out of his end zone, always a dangerous situation. Leuzinger with 1 man deep. They're going to go for the rush on this one, and they almost get it. They got a little piece of it. It's going to take a slow roll. As the rush came on that time, it only gets to about the 32-yard line. So a break for the Leuzinger Olympians. They had 10 men up. They went for the rush. And it definitely put some pressure that time on the punter, Nate Ortell. As somebody got a deflection on this there. Can't see who it was coming in from the outside, but break for Leuzinger. They'll get the ball in excellent field position. They'll have it at the La Mirada 32-yard line. 3rd possession of the night. Tight wing tee again. Ronnie Bro. Mafulialo. And this time on the inside handoff. The ball is handed off. And the big run that time. That is George Cooley on the run. George Cooley with his first run of the night. He's the 4th back to handle the ball. He comes out of the pack. There is a flag on the play, however. And the call goes against Leuzinger. So Leuzinger with their 3rd penalty of the night, 3rd major penalty, and after a successful run on 1st down, they are going to be set back. Trailing 14-0, so Leuzinger yet to really get the running game in full stride. And it's going to be 1st and very long for the Leuzinger Olympians. A tight formation again. Up the middle, same play. Same player, heading to the outside, heading toward the end zone. And they're going to knock him into the pylon. And he is out at about the 1-yard line. So George Cooley, the big fullback, senior, 2nd successful run coming out of the pack. And as you can see, just had a couple of people to beat. Jarrell Shavers given to chase. And he's going to be knocked out of bounds. Anthony Veal knocks him out. Veal saving the touchdown. 1st and goal for Leuzinger. Ellis in the backfield. Ronnie Bro in the backfield. And they give it to Bro. Bro is going to be stacked up at about the 1-yard, 1-foot line. He does not get in. La Mirada defense holding. Going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Ball is going to be placed right at about the 1-yard line. Have some penetration coming down the line. And Bro not able to get in. If Leuzinger is not able to score, this drive will have been saved by the nice tackle made by Anthony Veal. So he knocked Cooley out of bounds. 2nd and goal. And either somebody moved or La Mirada jumped off. Left side of the defense you saw for La Mirada moving. And they're going to call an offside against La Mirada, so that'll give them half the distance. Repeat 2nd down. Make it a little easier. Rudiger, big number 28. Adam Watson, linebacker. Defensive, he actually plays, he can play defensive end and linebacker. So it's 2nd and goal. Ball looks to be at about the 1.5 yard line. Ellis and Bro in the backfield. They line up tight. And this time it's Bro. Bro heading over left side. Touchdown. Touchdown for the Leuzinger Olympians. And it's Bro with the first touchdown of the night for Leuzinger. Ronnie Bro. Ronnie Bro, the senior, right at the 2-minute mark, 14-6. And you're going to see basically same formation that you'll see most of the night. Some good blocking in there. Willie Reynolds getting a big block. Willie Reynolds with the key block, number 57. And Leuzinger Olympians will go for the 2-point conversion. There's the pitch. And in for the 2 points. So they get the 2-point conversions. Mafu Lialu makes it a 14-8 ball game. 14-8 in favor of La Mirada. This drive set up at the 2-minute mark of the first quarter by the Leuzinger defensive stand. First play of offense for La Mirada when they had the fumbled handoff exchange. That set them back in the penalty. And then, of course, on 4th down, having to punt out of their end zone, Leuzinger put the rush on and was able to get a piece of the ball. And they got the ball in excellent field position. And the man of the hour on the drive for Leuzinger, George Cooley. The senior, there he is. Came up with the big runs to get them to the 1 yard line. And 2 plays later, Ronnie Bro able to take it in. Mafu Lialo for the 2 points. So the crowd a little pensive right now. The home crowd with it 14-8. And they'll await the kickoff, and you would expect to see Robert Bo Price, one of the deep men for La Mirada. Guerin will kick it. And a little wobbler. This ball is taken this time by Scott Trinidad. Scott Trinidad met by a wall of tacklers. And he's to about the 33-yard line. And they're on the stop again that time, George Cooley. George Cooley coming up big a couple of times. George Cooley can play linebacker. And you know he can run the football. He's going to be in there on the line, playing linebacker on this defensive stand. So Eric Meyer back in there at QB. Had a little rough series last time. Bo Price in motion to the right side. He's going to try that right side again. Got time. Straight over the middle. And the catch is juggled and held on to. He juggles and holds on. And he is going to go in for the touchdown. How about that? Jarrell Shavers with a juggle on the catch. But he's able to hold on to it. Victor McClendon gave him a chase. Couldn't get there. And sometimes you don't have to be good, it just pays to be lucky. Well, you see he had the time. He looked like he wanted to go right first. Shavers was a secondary receiver. He had his man beat there. He juggles the ball and able to hold on to it. And he's in there for the big touchdown as he just trips his way into the end zone. That time, Kendrick Henry giving chase. Point after touchdown is good. And so La Mirada comes right back. After giving up 8 points, they put 7 more on the board. And within 20 seconds, they are on the board again. So they've had 2 touchdowns scored tonight in the span of 20 seconds, coming on first plays after kickoffs. And those are the sort of things that, well, I guess you can live with it in the preseason, in the early part of the year before you get into your league play, but not something that the Leuzinger coaching staff is going to be too hyped about. The La Mirada bench. Eric Meyer hitting Shaver. That's Shaver's second catch of the night. And he just bobbled that one and able to hold on to it. La Mirada coaching staff. That's Brooks, Kim Brooks, defensive coordinator you see right there. And he, of course, is going to be concerned because on the last defensive stand, his team was scored on. So Leuzinger to run it back. On the deep kick, there will be no run back. That's way out of the end zone. Sam Orr kicking it way out. Got to wonder if Sam Orr plays soccer as well. So on the touchback, 1st and 10 for Leuzinger. They'll put the ball in play at their 20-yard line. Well, this is the first of a couple of telecasts that we're going to have for you this year during this football season on Lawndale Community Cable. Next week, we will be at Hawthorne, where the Hawthorne Cougars will be playing a non-conference game against Wainimi. That's Wainimi and Hawthorne. Next week, here on Channel 22, Lawndale Community Cable. Right here, it's 21-8, Leuzinger Olympians. On the short end, we're still in the first quarter.
Right there, all right, baby.
And there's Mafao Lialu getting about 4 yards on the carry. Mafao Lialu. It's been Lialu, Ellis, Ronnie Bro, and George Cooley doing most of the carries here tonight in this first quarter. There's a stop made that time by Durtell, as you see. Second down and about 6. Aaron in there at quarterback. He's attempted about 2 passes. He's yet to complete one. They look to go up the middle. There's Ellis. Ellis with a stutter step. He's hit hard and taken down. That was a nasty hit there that time. He gets the first down, but it's a costly first down. And we'll see who gets the bone-jarring hit. Looked like it might have been Rudiger on the hit. Is Rudiger being held off. And there comes the big hit coming in from the outside. But it's a first down as the clock runs here in the first quarter. Down to 40 seconds to go in quarter number 1. Right wing tee again. And this time they pitch it off. And in the backfield and going nowhere. Running back by committee tonight for Leuzinger. That time Victor McClendon on the carry. Ten seconds to go. That may have been the last play of the quarter. Second and about 11. They'll try to get one off. And they will not make it. As the gun sounds, and that ends quarter number 1. The 1 in the books here at La Mirada. And it's the home team, La Mirada, leading the Leuzinger Olympians by a score of 21-8. La Mirada is the home team here tonight. Leuzinger are the visitors. This is their home field. And it's been a good crowd. So first quarter, obviously, all La Mirada, mostly by the pass. Scoring 2 touchdowns after kickoffs in a span of 20 seconds. Both of them going almost 70 yards. Scored on their first offensive play of the night. Eric Meyer to Robert Bo Price. And Eric Meyer had a 1-yard touchdown run. And he also hit Jarrell Shavers on the juggling catch, where Shavers was able to hold on. Leuzinger able to score on a 1-yard run by Ronnie Bro. That's set up by a good defensive stand and a block punt. And a 22-yard run by George Cooley. They've got the ball on offense starting the second quarter. Second down and 11 to go. They're in the white. And they're not getting very far on the play. Mafulialu strung out that time. And it's going to be third down and about 10. He maybe got half a yard. So far tonight, Leuzinger not been able to run wild. They've had 3 big holding penalties, clips and holding. Their most successful drive, as we mentioned, came after a good defensive stand and a partially blocked punt. They've not been able to get the long run off, and you remember last year, the likes of Terry Infantineau, Darnell Charles were able to break off one big home run type run per game. Well, they are gone. They're in college now, and we haven't seen one of those sort of runs tonight. Here's a reverse. And coming up the middle, looking for some big positive yards, close to a first down. There's a good run. Victor McClendon on the run, and he does have the first down. So big first down for Victor McClendon. And straight up the middle. And another key block by Willie Reynolds out front. Willie Reynolds throwing the weight around, the senior. His offensive linemen very rarely get a chance to get mentioned unless they hold. So you like to mention them when they throw the big blocks.
Outside now, get him, baby. Right there, right.
And Ronnie Bro gets maybe a yard. Ronnie Bro met that time right at the line. A lot of new faces for you Leuzinger football fans. The likes of Ronnie Bro, George Cooley, Victor McClendon. Of course, you know Elias Ellis, who played quite a bit last season. In case you're wondering, Terry Fontenot is at Fresno State this year. And we wish him all the best of luck at Fresno State. And there's the inside handoff to Ellis. Ellis with a juke and a duke. And he's pulled down by the shirt, where he would have gotten more yardage. Shirt tackle by Jarrell Shavers. And he's going to be close to the first down. So Ellis getting that handoff. It's coming straight up the middle. And there you see the big block thrown that time. So it's another first down for the Leuzinger Olympians. We're in the second quarter. It's 21-8. Still quite a bit of time. And if they are able to score on a long sort of drive, time-consuming drive, it keeps the La Mirada offense off the field. Another inside handoff to Ellis. And Ellis has some big yardage, close to another first down. Well, Ellis is going to be the featured back for most of the year. He, of course, the most experienced back, a senior this year, had a lot of key carries last year. He did not get many carries in the first quarter. He had a big game last week. And here's Willie Reynolds on that big block again. Willie Reynolds and Andre Rochelle. Some very big key blocks for Leuzinger. We're at the 9:13 mark. They call it second down and very short. They say he did not get the first down. This X marks the spot. Now they do give it a first down. Well, the referees were a little confused. And so that last lady you saw on your screen, she knew it was a first down. So it's 1st and 10. Leuzinger trying to keep the drive going.
Inside.
And another inside handoff. There's Ellis. Ellis, he's going to score. Elias Ellis to the house with a touchdown. Elias Ellis on the inside handoff, and you got to wonder, where was he in the first quarter? He was not on the field for most of the plays in the first quarter, but used here in this second quarter, and he is showing why he is a senior. There's another big block by Willie Reynolds, and once he sprung him to the outside, he could have walked that one in. It's a touchdown, second touchdown on the night. 21-14, they'll be going for the two-point conversion at the 8:51 mark. And these 2 points are big. Could get them to within less than a touchdown. And they'll try to run it in, and I don't think they're going to get it in. So they don't get it in, no gain. And if Rufus were here, Rufus would be saying, see, you need to be able to kick extra points. But the Leuzinger coaching staff, not of that philosophy. They feel that they have the ability to get everything on the two-point conversions. Well, we don't sit up here necessarily second-guessing coaching staffs because, you know, it's not necessarily a position that I would want to be in. I mean, we can just only call what we see, but if you were with us on the last ball game that we did, the semifinal ball game in the CIF Division II playoffs last year, Leuzinger lost to Diamond Bar out at Diamond Bar. if they make 2 one-point conversions, or even if they're able to score on the 2-point conversion, all they needed was 2 one-point conversions and they win the ball game. All they needed was a kickoff across the other side of the field, across the opponent's 50-yard line, and they also possibly win the ball game. So, again, it's a matter of coaching philosophy, and we will see if it holds out to be true this year for the Leuzinger Olympians. As that punt fielded short, and Joey Becerra puts the knee down. Actually, it's Brandon Williams. Brandon Williams, number 21, putting the knee down. They say he was down. So La Mirada going to put it in play for the first time here in the second quarter. They had a good first quarter, especially passing the ball. And we have some kind of discussion there. Right at about the 3-yard line, there's an offside call. Offside against La Mirada. Well, the announcement is offside against Leuzinger. Referee pointed upfield, so we'll get it together. See, in baseball, you get to go to Florida for 30 spring training games. You don't get that in football. In the NFL, you get 4 preseason games where you have 200 men on the roster. In college and high school, there is no such thing really as a preseason. I mean, this is considered preseason, but I mean, it's not an exhibition game, so you got to be ready to go. NFL, you get the 4 preseason games to work the kinks out, and they don't count on your record. Well, in the NCAA and in high school, at the high school level, if you work the kinks out, you could be 0-3. So you've got to be ready to go from week 1. But nevertheless, to err is human. And we're going to kick this one off again. Leuzinger Olympians will be kicking off. And a little squibba kick. And they're going to just down it. Not the sort of kicks that you'd want. You'd want them to get it deep, obviously. And with a high-powered offense that La Mirada has, especially on the pass, you give them a very short field they have to work with. They get it right at about the 40-yard line. And that's where they'll put it in play, 1st and 10. They're going to spot it right at about the 38. 8:45 to go in quarter number 2. 21-14 in favor of La Mirada. Single back in the backfield, 2 receivers to the far side. Eric Meyer at the QB. Throwing to the right side, there's Bo Price on the catch. And he's met for short yardage. Relatively short yardage. He'll have it up to about the 45-yard line. Bo Price reminds you of, does remind you of Bruce Harper? Haven't got any comparisons out, an old NFL comparison. Eddie Bell, old New York Jet from 1971. Ed Bell, Floyd Little was a running back. Matt Caron. Second down and about 4 yards to go. Leuzinger looks like they may have jumped, or were they drawn off? And it's an offside on the Leuzinger Olympians. And they're lining up in the neutral zone, so that's going to give La Mirada the first down. And they'll have the ball just outside the midfield stripe, 1st and 10, leading 21-14. Meyer to throw again, has time. Pump fakes one time. Now going to throw it deep. Has Price open, and that's a touchdown. So the pump fake drew somebody in. And it's the 4th touchdown of the night, 3rd by the pass. 27-14 in favor of La Mirada. And again, they score quickly, and they make it look easy. Can't see who got burned or faked out, but obviously the pump fake had to have drawn somebody in because he was basically wide open. He faked the cameraman for one, and it looked like Kendrick Henry, number 1 there, was the victim as they go for the 1-point conversion. And the one-point conversion is good. Kendrick Henry, we couldn't really see, but with the receiver being that wide open, must have gone for that pump fake. That's 3 touchdown passes on the night. 28-14 your score, 7:45 to go. So that quickly, they take it back to the house. 3 touchdown passes, 1 by the run. And these are 2 teams, obviously, that can put some points on the board. Mentioned last week, 59 points in a victory over El Dorado. Leuzinger last week, 42 points in a victory at Camarillo. So the defense has to come up strong for somebody tonight. Who will it be? Obviously, La Mirada scoring much easier. La Mirada Matador fans, creative here tonight. So here's the deep kick. Fielded about midway in the end zone, and it's going to be a touchback. Ball will come out to the 20-yard line. Well, there you see the difference in what a long kicking game can do. I mean, now you have to at least go 80 yards. La Mirada had just about 45 yards to go. But then again, with the ease at which their passing game is scored tonight, you got to wonder if they were to get the ball on their own 1-yard line with 99 yards to go, would it make any difference? You have a lot of players for Leuzinger that play 2 ways. You have a couple for key ones for La Mirada that go 2 ways. And on a somewhat humid night, as you saw La Mirada there on the sideline, looking a little humid. They're a play that does not develop. Twisting and turning and no gain on the play. It's been the tight wing tee all night tonight for Leuzinger Olympians. David Guerin, the quarterback. Leula carried that last time for no gain, so it's 2nd and 10. The tight wing tee again. Inside handoff. And this time it looks like they're ready to meet that inside handoff. Work effectively on the last series for Leuzinger. Elias Ellis breaking it to the end zone. But this time, La Mirada defense seems to be ready for it. It's going to be 3rd down and about 8. Normally a passing situation. About 6:30 to go till halftime. There's a tight wing tee. You have 9 defensive players up in the box ready to stop the run. Inside handoff, and it may work. It does work. There's Ronnie Bro. So everybody knew it was coming, but it still works anyway. Well, that takes guts. See everybody up looking for the run. Good inside handoff and nice open field tackle there. Made by Jarrell Shavers. He's a 2-way player. 1st and 10. All in about the 32-yard line for Leuzinger. Drive continues. This time they're going to attempt the pass. Throws it deep, has a man out there and incomplete. Well, not a bad attempt, but not able to get there, not able to hold on. At least that keeps them honest. Shows them that you have the ability to get the ball up in the air. We know that Guerin does have a good arm. He can throw. Last year, you remember, Donald Bell, 5'1" flea of a quarterback. He started at quarterback for most of the year. 2nd and 10. Inside handoff again. And there's another long run. Lialu in a foot race. Tries to cut back toward the end zone, and he's going to cut back for the pay dirt. Mafulialu. That was an acrobatic run. One-on-one with Jarrell Shavers on the sideline. Jarrell Shavers wanted to push him out of bounds, but he cuts back. The hole is open. There's Ellis springing on the block there. He's to the outside, and you see Jarrell Shavers had an angle on him. Looked like Jarrell Shavers was going to get there and force him out of bounds, but he simply cuts back, and Shavers not able to hold on, and he's into the end zone. 6 more points for Leuzinger, making it 28-20 pending the 2-point conversion. 5:42 to go. We have someone for the Leuzinger Olympians is down at the original line of scrimmage. Can't see who it is. Mafulialu on the big touchdown run. And he's coming up from the JV. Most of these players did play on the JV last year, a JV that was very successful for Leuzinger. And there's the gentleman who comes off limping. Can't see the number. Being shaded there. And it looks to be Andre Rochelle who was shaken up. Andre Rochelle, a big man. Plays a lot of downs for the Leuzinger Olympians. That clock is wrong. Shouldn't be at the 12-minute mark. 5:46, we're told, is the official time. Isn't it fun doing football games at this level, man? I mean, when in the NFL, it's so mechanized. You have your TV timeouts. You got your, this is just fun. This is good old country football. Although we're in the suburbs of LA. 28-20 is the score. A 2-point conversion is going to come up, and there is a call going against Leuzinger. And we'll get back with a 2-point conversion right after this break on Lawndale Community Cable. Here's the 2-point conversion attempt. Trying to get to the outside, and for the second time, they will not get in. So that's the second 2-point conversion attempt that fails on the night, and it'll be an 8-point lead for La Mirada. So 28-20. As they miss on the 2-point conversion, but they do get back into the ball game at the 5:46 mark. Now it remains to be seen when Leuzinger goes on the defense against La Mirada. Can they do anything to stop the passing of Eric Meyer? They have not been able to do it. Scored 4 times, 3 on passes. Robert Bo Price has 2 touchdowns. Jason Shavers has a touchdown catch on a juggle. And Eric Meyer ran one in from 1 yard out. School's been in for about a week for those folks. Just kind of getting back into the swing of things. And here's the squib kick on the ground. And they don't pick it up until late. And they won't get much yards out of it this time. Tim McLean on the little short return. That's where the La Mirada Matadors will put it in play. 1st and 10, leading 28-20. Well, they don't get it in the air. That's kind of like, for me, that's like a bad golf shot. It's kind of like, when I'm on the golf course and I want to hit those 200-yard drives and they don't go in the air, but I kind of get it low to the ground and it still goes far. That's what that kickoff is like. It's like a good amateur golf shot. As long as it gets where it has to go. Here's Meyer again all the time. They're going to throw deep. A little wobbler, underthrown, and is this one almost intercepted? Almost intercepted that time. It was underthrown. Pass intended for Shavers. And it's going to bring up a 2nd down and deep. This is Friday night, and you can wait till Sunday to do your homework. Or can you? This ball game you'll be watching. When you see this, it'll be Saturday night. But for those folks right there, they'll be getting ready to do their homework on Sunday. Second down and long. Back to throw. And this one is dropped by Robert Price. If I am not mistaken, I think there's another quarterback in the ball game for La Mirada. Looked like Brett Erickson. Looked like a number 8 on my screen. But they say it's still Eric Meyer is number 9. Well, it's because Eric Meyer throws a little straighter than that. Those are wobblers. So nevertheless, it's third down and 10. Big third down play. Has some time. Rush coming up the middle to get it off. And it's dropped. The ball is dropped. Jarrell Shavers dropped the fair. So how often is that? You see Jarrell Shavers and Bo Price drop ones that are right in their hands. And I don't know. I mean, we can't get in that close on the quarter, but that did not look like Eric Meyer. Looked like uniform number 8, which would be Brett Erickson. He's a tight end and linebacker. Got hit. Whoever it was got hit that time as he threw. And you'd almost have to think, if it is a different quarterback, sometimes, it's just a matter of the chemistry being a little out of whack when you got someone else who throws a little differently. This time they have a little problem on the exchange. It's a low wobbler. It is going to take a Leuzinger bounce and stay in their territory right at about the 50-yard line. So things beginning to break positively for the Leuzinger Olympians. They're down by 8 at the 5:08 mark until halftime, and they are a touchdown and a 2-point conversion away from tying up the ball game. Well, this is Dave Marks, and Rufus Washington not with us tonight. If you're wondering where Rufus is, he is at the Los Angeles Business Expo. Rufus Alligator Washington at the LA Business Expo. I make the mistake in calling him Rufus Thomas a lot of times, the old R&B singer. I'm out of Memphis, Tennessee, radio station WDIA. How about that? And looking to go up the middle, but going nowhere. Being met by a host of blue shirts. George Cooley on the carry. Cooley had a positive run that helped set up Leuzinger's first touchdown of the night. This time he loses about 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 14. Under 5 minutes to go now in the first half. Can the Leuzinger Olympians capitalize here? They have missed 2 2-point conversions. Tight wing tee once again. Inside handoff, it's fumbled. Ball is loose. Who's got it? And La Mirada's got the ball. Victor McClendon was supposed to get the reverse, but not able to handle. And it's Adam Watson who recovered the fumble. And momentum will shift back to La Mirada. There you see he ran without having the ball. And right there, Adam Watson able to fall on it. And La Mirada goes back to the offense. Now let's look at this quarterback situation. Eric Meyer is the regular starting quarterback, but in that last series, very un-Eric Meyer-like. Yeah, that's definitely Meyer this time, number 9. Now, if we see him throwing wobblers again, then we know something is wrong. See, he stands up straight. That's not a wobbler. That's right on, and it's caught. Now, there's definitely a difference between the way that ball was thrown and the last 3 were thrown. And Eric Price, I mean, when he dropped that one on the last series, it's as though he's saying, come on, is this a pass? I mean, he was so wide open that last time and just off his hand. This time, now, that's a bullet right in there. And when you're a good receiver like Price, that's the way you are used to getting them. I mean, I know someone who knew Dan Marino at Pittsburgh in college. And I played street football with him before he went to college. And we had guys in the street that could throw hard. And I said, how does Dan Marino compare to the way we play out here in the streets? And he said, you don't want to know. He said, try catching one of his, you'll have no hands or chest. That's when Marino was young, of course. And here's Vaca going nowhere, right at the line. Being met by the interior line for Leuzinger. Clock continues to run here. First half winding down. This is a key possession right here, key defensive possession and key offensive possession with a 8-point swing. Leuzinger would like nothing better than to keep La Mirada off the board. Leuzinger gets the second half kickoff. Second down and about 5 from the 40-yard line. Meyer with a short drop, throws to the right side, and this time the catch is made. Jarrell Shavers shakes one man, and he's going to be brought down at the 20. Jarrell Shavers with a catch. Now keep in mind he dropped one on the last drive, but this time he holds on here. Victor McClendon on the stop. Little short drop by Meyer. He looks like a quarterback. He's got the right kind of feel back there. His feet don't move around in that pocket. It seems like he gets it off just when he needs to. First and 10 from about the 21. We're approaching the 2-minute mark. 28-20, favor of La Mirada. There's the handoff. Vaca, net, going nowhere. Well, for the most part, the run has not been there tonight for La Mirada. It's been the pass. And you know for the losing Olympians, there is no pass. It is all the run. So, tale of contrasting offenses. Vaca disgusted with himself. He, of course, fumbled. His fumble on an exchange, although he did recover, helped lead to a defensive stop that led to Leuzinger's first points of the night, got them on the board, and woke them up somewhat. Second down and about 11 to go. Flankers on both sides. Short drop. Looking that way, and he's got the man on the cut-in. And he's brought down after the catch. That's Sam Orr, wide receiver and place kicker. A little simple down and in, short yardage, short drop. It's close to the first down. It's been yards after catches on short ones tonight that have killed Leuzinger. McClendon getting there to make the stop. Give up the short one, but give up big yards after the catch. 3rd and 1. Will they go to the handoff? Short drop. And it's incomplete, in and out of the hands of Jarrell Shavers. Would have been a first down. It's going to be 4th down and 1. And now, with a flag on the play, call going against La Mirada. It's a holding call. 1:30 to go in the half. Little short drop. And it's just in and out of the hands. So Leuzinger deciding, do they want to make it 4th and 1 or 3rd and 11? And it looks like they want to put him back. Well, they're going to decline. Or do they? Well, they will take it. Looked like they were going to decline it. They're going to take it. And it's going to put the ball back on about the 21-yard line. 3rd down and 11 to go for La Mirada. This is a big 3rd down play. If they were to be stopped right here, they'd be looking at a 38-yard field goal attempt. And this is one of the bigger plays of the first half. 3rd down and 11. Meyer in the shotgun. Has time. Those angling to the right side. And it is Price on the catch. Does he have the first down? He's close to it. He is very close. Price looks like he doesn't like where they're going to spot it. He may have to measure. Well, I think he's got it. I think he's got the first down. There's just a good down and out to Price. And he's knocked out of bounds. It's going to be a first down. And goal to go. Ball looks to be right at about the 6-yard line. First and goal. Time-wise, 1:07 to go. Do they go to the pass? They're going to try to go to the ground. There's Vaca to the outside. He missed on one tackle. And he's down at about the 5. So Vaca with some positive yards. 2nd and goal. And now under a minute to go. Time a factor. 2nd down and goal. La Mirada has the full complement of timeouts, and they're going to take one right here. So La Mirada first timeout, 47 seconds to go. 2nd down and goal from the 5. So this is an important sequence right here. Leuzinger is able to stop them. It makes it a little easier starting the second half. Leuzinger has shown the ability to score, but of course, it's like having to climb uphill all night. They've had to score by the run and not able to do it as quickly as La Mirada is able to. So if La Mirada goes in and scores, they do get the ball for the second half kickoff, but of course that just means that they've got a little steeper hill to climb in the second half. If they're able to stop them here, that's momentum. And keep in mind, La Mirada has this ball due to the fact that Leuzinger fumbled on a reverse. Fumble leading to this drive. And those are some of the Leuzinger fans on the far side of the field. And those are the La Mirada bunch. Next week, Leuzinger will be playing at home for the first time. Their first home game. So Leuzinger fans have a chance to see them at Olympian Field for the first time. 2nd and goal from the 5. Single back in the backfield. He's going to throw, looking to the left side, looking for Price, he's there. That was easy, and it's a 5-yard touchdown pass. 5th touchdown of the night, 4th on the pass. And it's the 3rd for Price, 34-20, pending the 1-point conversion. So when the run doesn't work, you simply go to the pass. And it's a little fake to the inside, cut to the outside, and there's Robert Bo Price with the big score. Here's Sam Orr to attempt the point after. And the 1-pointer is good. 35-20. 41 seconds to go. Now the question becomes, can Leuzinger possibly reel off a long touchdown with 41 seconds and 3 timeouts? Last year, in situations right before the half, would be times in the ball games when they would attempt to pass. And I guess it would all depend on where they're able to get the kickoff here, depending on how far they have to go. La Mirada cheerleaders getting ready for their little halftime show. Some of the pep squad in the stands. Football season with baseball weather. The varsity yell squad. An official yeller, I guess they call it. You can see the Leuzinger Olympian squad next week for their first home game over on Rosecrans. And next week, of course, we will be at Hawthorne. Here's a deep kick headed for the end zone, and out of the end zone, there'll be no run back. So Leuzinger will put it in play 1st and 10. And use a toothpick for that. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line for Leuzinger. 80 yards to go in 41 seconds. And let's see, will they try something or just lay it down and get ready for the second half? They will get the kickoff to start the second half. No, it wasn't me that said it. It was a guy in the truck. Headed to get on their way to get some popcorn. So here's the tight wing T formation. 41 seconds to go. And Guerin is going to throw. Lobs one up, and it's incomplete. So they fake the run that time in the tight formation. And really nobody out there ready to receive it. Bring up second down. A couple of seconds ticking off the clock. (35-20). Here's the score. Leuzinger looking kind of sluggish. And they go to the inside. There's Elias Ellis. Ellis with a first down. Clock will stop as they place the ball. 28 seconds to go. Or does he have the first down? No, he's going to be a little short. But Leuzinger will take a timeout. That'll be their first time out of the half. As they stop the clock. It'll be third and about a half a yard. Ellis has been effective on that inside tonight. And he does get credit for the first down. Referees check the spot. And it'll be a first down for the Leuzinger Olympians. 28 seconds to go. And they'll see if maybe they can get something. That's Mike Witt, head coach. Maybe a little something before this first half comes to an end. That's Joe Shoa, one of the Channel 22 camera operators. That's Joe Shoa. Is that a wig, or he hasn't been to the barbershop in a while? Here we go, first and 10. Guerin trying to throw. Nobody there. And similar to some of the things that we saw last year, attempting to throw the ball at the end of the half. Second down and 10. Kind of wish one way or the other this first half would end, don't you? I think everybody wants to get to the concession stands or wherever they have to get. Of course, if Leuzinger is able to put points on the board, this is all worth it, but if they are not, then it's just delayed people from getting their soda, their popcorn and pretzels. Second down and 10. Will they try to put it up again? They will try, and they won't connect. Third down and 10. Well, they can at least try it one more time with about 18 seconds to go. Now, if they run it here and don't make the first down, 18 seconds to go, you wonder would La Mirada take their second time out with the hope of wanting to get the football at least one more time on a punt. So here's third and 10. They fake the hand. No, they actually do hand off, and that's Ellis getting only about 5 yards. And let's see, will La Mirada stop the clock? Oh, they're going to let it run, and I think that's how the half will end. So they mercifully will let it end. And there's the gun. And there's the half. A lot of scoring, a lot of momentum changes. A game that looks like an early game for both teams, but La Mirada on the passing strength of Eric Meyer and Robert Bo Price have 35 points at the half, and they lead the Leuzinger Olympians 35-20. So can Leuzinger climb up the hill in the second half and get over it? Well, we will see that when we come back to start the second half in a moment. Leuzinger Olympians to receive the second half kickoff. And this one into the end zone again for a touchback. So they'll have to put it in play first and 10 from the 20. Halftime score, La Mirada 35, Leuzinger 20. La Mirada has done it on the air, in the air, Leuzinger on the ground. Starting quarterback Meyer, 13 for 18, 216 yards, 4 touchdown passes. He ran one in. Leading receiver Bo Price, 9 receptions, 190 yards, 3 touchdowns. And Shavers, 2 receptions, 117 yards, 1 TD. They've had almost nothing on the ground. All of Leuzinger's scoring has been on the ground. They've rushed 28 times, 242 yards. Elias Ellis, 92 yards on 10 carries, a TD. Newcomer, Mafau Lialu, 7 carries, 72 yards, 1 TD. 1st and 10. They go to the ground again. Leuzinger trying to get something on the ground, and they'll get 5 yards straight up the middle. And on the carry is, of course, newcomer Ronnie Bro. Most of these players played on the JV last year. That was a very successful JV and won the Bay League. They're up here getting senior varsity experience. So far tonight, the story has been the inability of the Leuzinger defense to stop the passing attack of La Mirada. La Mirada has not been able to run the ball, but they have passed at will. Leuzinger has run well, but they have not broken off. They've broken a few big long runs, but it wears you down when you have to do all that running, and especially when you have players like that, like Lialu, who's got another big couple of yards, but he's got to play both ways. He has to play linebacker and running back. Leuzinger 1-0 on the year, La Mirada 1-0 on the year. Both teams predicted to do well in their respective conferences and leagues. La Mirada ranked number 1 in Division 6. Leuzinger in the top 10 in Division 3. They're ranked number 2 in the Bay League as they string them out to the outside, and Bro brought down behind the line. So a night where Leuzinger wants to run, La Mirada wants to pass. I mean, it's not that Leuzinger has run the ball badly, but La Mirada has had some success. As you see, they come up here, Kenny Thompson up from the defensive back position to make the stop. They've had some success, as you see there, on stopping the run. Leuzinger has had no success on stopping the pass. Right here, here's Ellis on the inside handoff, and he's going to get up the middle and be close to the first down. It's been where Ellis has run the ball for most of the night. Elias Ellis now over the 100-yard mark with that carry. That's his 11th of the night. And they're expecting a lot from him. Had some experience last year. Losing some key people from last year's attack. Terry Infantino, Darnell Charles, Javita McCullough, all graduated. Here's a big third down and about 3. They go to the inside. Ellis with a hold. He has the first down. Elias Ellis will move the sticks. Leuzinger was derailed on 4 big penalties. 2 holes and 2 clips in the first half. Did not help their cause. Both teams made blunders that led to a score. Leuzinger got on the board first. As you look at Ellis's run again, Leuzinger got on the board first, trailing 14-0. When La Mirada tried to go to the run, Vaca fumbled, recovered his own fumble, but they weren't able to get anything on that drive, and Leuzinger partially blocked a punt. And that led to their first score. Some good bruising running by Victor McClendon. McClendon breaking a couple of tackles, getting into the secondary. He's up close to a first down. That led to the first score of the night for Leuzinger when they got the ball at the 32-yard line. And La Mirada getting on the board before the end of the half when Leuzinger fumbled. McClendon there, the man who picks up the positive yards, he fumbled on that double reverse that gave La Mirada the ball right at about the 40-yard line, and they scored before the end of the half. And if it's not for that score, Leuzinger could be on their way to a potential tying touchdown. But as it is, they've got a bigger hill to climb. 1st and 10. On another first down. And there's the pitch. Lialu springing free. And he looks like he will have that first down. Move the chains. We're in La Mirada, California, outside of Norwalk. Beautiful warm night. It was a little humid. Now it's got kind of comfortable. It is still summer on the calendar. School's back in for about a week. This is week number 2 of play in the CIF. Losing her second game on the road preseason. They'll be home next week to open up the home season. There's Ellis. Ellis looking for room up the middle. He'll get a couple of yards. Elias Ellis, the senior. Varsity cheerleaders for La Mirada. It's back to you there, the big tight end, Grant Roberts. Can play on the line and tight end. Leuzinger, we mentioned throughout the first half, not a team that is proficient with the passing. And this is Coach Mike Witt, who was an assistant last year under Don Markham. Same philosophy as Don Markham. Don Markham, someone legendary in these parts. And there's a pitch and running straight up the middle for some good positive yards. It's Ronnie Bro. You know, we do question sometimes, myself and Rufus Washington, regular commentators here on Channel 22, about the necessity when a team stops your run, you got to have the ability to pass and you got to be able to kick. But then again, I mean, it's just the running can be successful. You have to have the horses to do it. I mean, there are a lot of teams that cannot stop that wing T. And the opponent here tonight, La Mirada, is one of the tougher teams that Leuzinger is going to see on their schedule. And here's a first down run attempt. Rafael Liula. And it looks like he is close to the first down and will have it. Of course, with La Mirada being in Division 6, Leuzinger will not play them in postseason. Leuzinger they've been in Division 2 since 1994. They were dropped, the Bay League was dropped to Division 3. And there have been a few changes for those of you out there who watch the Bay League. Inglewood is no longer in Division 2. Inglewood and Santa Monica are out, so they will not be on the schedule this year for Leuzinger. West Torrance and Redondo will be in. And that's not going to make West Torrance too happy. And there's another run and a high hit on Mafulialu. A lot of players from the Hawaiian Islands and that part of the ocean on this Leuzinger Olympian squad. Leuzinger High School on Rosecrans. We'll be doing a couple of games from there this year. A couple of home games we'll be doing. Next week we'll be at Hawthorne. As you know, here on Channel 22, we cover Hawthorne and Leuzinger. Hawthorne plays Waimi next week. Here's the pitch. And squibbling and swimming through. Looked like he was swimming that time. Victor McClendon swimming across the grass. Drive will continue. It'll be third down and about 2. If ever a team needed that halftime break, it was these Leuzinger Olympians. As he swims along the grass is Victor McClendon. A lot of their players are two-way players. And it was a little humid as the game progressed in the first half. A little more comfortable now. Here's a big third down and about 3 for the Olympians. They'll keep it on the ground. Here's a pitch. And stood right up at the line. Good high hit that time. Ronnie Bro. He'll be short of the first down, and of course they're going for it. There's no doubt about that. Ball will be spotted right. Hard to see the yard marker from here. Looks like about the 15 or so. I'll make that just outside the 20. It's fourth down and about 2. So here's a big, crucial fourth down. 9:47 to go. Leuzinger trailing 35-20. This is a big play. That's Ellis. Ellis up the middle. Has a first down, and he's headed for the end zone for the touchdown. He needed 2 yards, and he picks up about 20. And Elias Ellis gets the Leuzinger Olympians on the board. That's Ellis' second touchdown of the night. And our score is now 35-26. There's Ellis. He just needed that short yardage. They were all up there stacked on the line trying to stop it. And once you get past the box, you've got nothing but miles to turnpike. And is that time correct? 4:36? Have they taken off that much time? Wow, that is an incredible amount of time as they go for the 2. If that's the case, then they have successfully kept the La Mirada offense off the field. They go for 2. Ellis up the middle, and does he get it? Leuzinger says yes. La Mirada says no. What does the official say? The official says they stopped him. So that's a third straight 2-point conversion attempt. That is not successful. And again, that's 6 points that are taken off the board on those misses. 35-26. If you make those 3 two-point conversions, it's only a 4-point game. And on 4 touchdowns, if you make 1-point conversions, you've just got a 7-point game. So despite the fact that they're able to score on the Ellis run, they still have quite a bit of work ahead of them. It's Elias Ellis on the 20-yard run for the touchdown. 2 points are no good. So they're within 9. And it means they need at least 2 scores and some time. Leuzinger taking off a lot of time on that third quarter, which basically keeps the high-powered passing attack of Eric Meyer off the field. So that is one thing they wanted to do. A little low-line drive. Ball is going to be fielded. And he's hit hard. Hit hard on the carry. Brandon Williams on the run. And he's down right at about the 30-yard line. And that's where Mirada will put it in play for the first time in the half. Williams did a nice job to field that one. And the special teams have done fairly well tonight for Leuzinger. On the kickoff coverages, they do not always kick it deep, but they keep a man fairly well hemmed in. Now here's Eric Meyer with his first chance, and he's going to go to the air, as you would expect. To the right side, there's Price. Slips 2 people, look at that. Down the sideline, still on his feet, and he might score if he stays in bounds. That is incredible. That is incredible. He slipped 2 people who should have had him. He shook them like they were not there. Now there's a question is there a flag on the field? There might be a flag. Everybody is headed upfield, or are they saying he stepped out of bounds? That's probably what the call is, stepped out of bounds. Now, here is, how does someone 4'8" slip by? Well, you see one man slip, and he's not 4'8", by the way. I'm just being facetious, but first guy to get to him slipped, and that set him free. And he steps out of bounds, so the official, Johnny, on the spot, he doesn't get the touchdown, but you kind of have the feeling the way he runs, they get it to him on the flat again, he's going to score. So an incredible little runner. There's Vaca. Vaca slips one, trying to get to the outside. They come up and they hit him, and it's been a frustrating night for Vaca. Junior Vaca, who is a junior, had a couple of carries, and he had a fumble that led to Leuzinger's first score of the night. Been a tough night for him on the ground. It's been a tough night all in all for the Mirada running attack, but when you can pass the ball with that ease, no pressure on the quarterback at all, and when you have someone like little Mac Harron, Bo Robert Price lined up at the right side, they look for him out there in the flat. No, this time they go to the other fella. That's Shavers, out of bounds after the catch. And he's knocked out of bounds hard. Kendrick Henry on the knockout. And a flag on the play, 3:28 to go. Call going against Mirada. It's a hold. Well, there's Shavers with a good catch. And he knocked the ball out of bounds. Well, we got our guys in the truck have come up with the understatement of the night. See, that's why they need to be on the air. They you know, we should, if ABC can use Dennis Miller, what we ought to do is have our guys in the truck make commentary along with us. Now, they've been watching the same game you guys out there are watching tonight, and you've seen Eric Meyer. You know what our guys in the truck just said? Gee, that Eric Meyer, he's got a good arm. Well, like, no nonsense, as this one is almost intercepted. Well, they may have jinxed him right there. Double team that time. Robert Bo Price is double teamed. And almost coming up with the interception. It's Ellis Vernon, number 24, almost had it. And we take a look at the arm. Well, slightly underthrown, and the coverage was there. That was Shavers the pass was intended for. Well, if you can use Dennis Miller in a booth, I think anything goes. Third down and about 21. And they rush him from the outside, and they get there. The rush is on, and the sack is made. The big sack that time, Grant Roberts. Grant Roberts, who's a two-way player. He plays tight end, and he plays linebacker. Grant Roberts gets there on the sack. Leuzinger crowd on the far side of the field applaud the move, and it brings up 4th and a couple of miles. And it'll be an obvious punt with 2:50 to go. In punt formation, Nate Ortel. I believe this is his third punt of the night. He muffs the snap. He's going to try to run, and he's not going anywhere. It was a bad snap. And Ortel not able to get it off. He's downed right at about the 31-yard line, and the Leuzinger Olympians catch a break. They catch a huge break. Ortel in pain. Did all he could to try to get that football off, but he was snowed under. And the Leuzinger Olympians trailing at this point 35-26. We'll be trying to get on the board again. It's been a good third quarter thus far. First drive going almost 8 minutes and keeping La Mirada offense off the field. There you see Ortel still a little shaken up, and here's a run up the middle and some good positive yards for the Leuzinger Olympians. Leuzinger Olympian fans have not had an awful lot to cheer about, and they do have a number of them that have made the trip out here to La Mirada. Yeah, those that did not get lost, trying to get off on Imperial Highway and looking for the 5. This is on the run is Lialu. Lialu coming out of the pack, putting the head down. Shavers getting in to make the initial contact. And a bunch of shirts finishing them off. Second down and about a yard and a half for the first down. Leuzinger in the white. There's Coach Witt. Like to get his second win on the season. He of the Chrome Dome. Inside handoff. And there's Cooley. Cooley with the first down for Leuzinger. So George Cooley, another one of the feature backs tonight. Leuzinger fans making some noise. Leuzinger Olympian offense also making a little noise. It's 1st and 10, ball at the 16. There's Cooley getting a good block there. Anytime you see a run like that, got to give some credit to the line. 1st and 10 from the 16. Again, the tight wing T. David Guerin. This time he's going to try to throw. Lobs one up left side, and that is it intercepted? I think so. Well, maybe that's why you don't pass. It's Shavers on the interception. And that is a backbreaker and a momentum killer. Well, that one obviously thrown into the wrong area. Looked like he had one receiver on his mind all the way. And that's just a good play by Shavers. He went up and took that. He just went right up and took it. Good defensive coverage. Looked like when you see it in slow motion, when you see it in real time, there were 3 people around him, but Shavers just went and took it away from the receiver. That's good coverage. So on the turnover, La Mirada's got it deep in the shadow of their end zone, and now we question, can Eric Meyer score from the 1-yard line? He takes it straight, just trying to get out of the shadow of that end zone and avoid a safety. You wonder, is his passing that potent that he's a danger from any point of the field? Can he pull a John Elway and score on a 99-yard drive? Well, when you have someone like Robert Price slipping people like an eel in battered grease, all you need is to get him loose on the flat, and he's off and down the sideline. We are under a minute to go now in the third quarter. Losing a golden opportunity to get a little closer. Now Eric Meyer, single back in the backfield. Looks to be Vaca. He fakes to Vaca. Going to throw out of his end zone. Going to put one up deep. And this one is way thrown out of bounds as he was under pressure that time. Leuzinger got a man in there, forced him to hurry that one. So credit the defense for making him have to rush that throw a little bit. and making it difficult. Let's see who gets in from the outside. Looks like Cooley got in there. Cooley put the rush on, and that's why he was not able to get much off on it. Cooley coming up from the linebacker position, and now Mirada will take a timeout. The clock had been stopped, of course, but on this big third down at about 8, deep in their own territory, they'll want to talk it over and make sure that everybody's on the same page, because this is a big play for both teams. Pivotal points in a ball game. It's been a good ball game all in all. That's Mike Witt. Mike Witt, of course, an assistant for 6 years at Leuzinger. Last year under Coach Don Markham, he is a disciple, so to speak, of Don Markham. We wish he and his wife the best of luck. We enjoyed working with him last year. We used to see his wife up there on the scaffold doing the game films, and Don Markham patrolling the sidelines while he puts it in the capable hands of Mike Witt. Mike Witt graduated Hawthorne, played baseball, went to Loyola Marymount U on a baseball scholarship, graduated Cal State Dominguez. 29 seconds to go in the shotgun. Here's a big play. Doesn't get the snap, has time, pumps once, and he loses the ball in the end zone. If they fall on it, it could be a touchdown. Let's see. If Leuzinger falls on it, it's a touchdown. Leuzinger fell on the ball, it's a touchdown. How's that for a big play? David Guerin, I believe, recovered it for the touchdown. Well, that's why Mirada called the timeout, just for that reason. The last thing they want to do is something like that. You rather give up the safety or just get it off. It's Ellis with the rush. He got there first, and he caused him to fumble. Ellis put the heat on. Now players scrambling to pick up the pigskin. And Leuzinger was going to get 2 or 6 points out of it. No matter what, they get 6. And now, going for the 2-point conversion, first a timeout. Look like Leuzinger, rather Mirada, will take their second timeout. Well, this is why Friday night football is fun. 19 seconds to go. It's 35-32. And 2 points could get them within 1. Credit Elias Ellis with the rush that time on Eric Meyer. And that's why Mirada did call the timeout. They went into the shotgun to discuss making sure that something like that does not happen. You want to get something, or even if you don't pick up the first down, you got to get out of the shadow of your end zone. And, of course, you want to give your punter a chance. But not able to pick up the rush coming outside from Ellis. He got there, put the hit on, caused the fumble. And Coach John Mele concerned now about this 2-point conversion. And a big fourth quarter upcoming. So this has turned out to be quite a football game for the second week. Mike Witt a little happier than he was about 5 minutes ago. And now they have missed on their last 3 2-point conversions. And this is another big one here, going for the 2-pointer. There's the pitch. And there's the 2. They've got the 2 points. Ronnie Breaux scores it. So it's 6 points on the TD, 2 on the conversion, and it's a 1-point ball game. 1 point separating these teams. It was 35-20 at the half. This third quarter has been all Leuzinger. There's Ronnie Breaux on the 2-point conversion. And with 19 seconds to go in the third quarter, Mirada crowd is being exhorted to cheer. They have been shut out this quarter. Guerin on the fumble recovery. And then the 2-point conversion. 35-34, 19 seconds to go. And this is a big kickoff. Here's one of those situations where you cannot afford to give them a kickoff on their 40-yard line. As Leuzinger will kick, and they will attempt to get it deep. Well, they're going to squib this one. And it is downed in the vicinity of the 20-yard line as we have a whistle. Maybe somebody was offsides. Eddie Hernandez, the one who did the kicking for Leuzinger. Eddie Hernandez is a backup quarterback. And as the officials discuss it, Rufus Washington is missing quite a ball game here tonight. It's offside against La Mirada. Or is it? Well, it's offside on somebody. They're kicking it over again. So it'll be Eddie Hernandez once again. And they squibbed this one on the ground, and not what you want, having the other team fielded at the 40-yard line. As the ball is falling on by Ryan Whittle. So again, a situation where you need some sort of a kicking game in special teams. You score a touchdown in a big play, and you give them 60 yards to go as opposed to 80 yards to go, and you see what can happen when you pin a team deep, as was the situation there on that last play. Keep in mind that it was Shavers on the interception, and then Leuzinger holding the offense of La Mirada deep. So here, let's see what they do. Back to throw on the first play, looking for Price again. Can he slip him again? He'll try to, but he's thrown down to the turf hard. He's body slammed that time. Kendrick Henry saying enough of that. Kendrick Henry fell one time tonight, and he got burned another time. And I tell you, that one looked personal. He's going to take him. He's not only going to tackle him, he's going to put him in the laundry bag here. That was personal. And that's the end of the third quarter. But you know Bo Price will be right back. So, 3 in the books. 12 to go. 1 point separate these two teams. Through thread quarters tonight. So we're going to start the fourth here. It's going to be second down and about 1 to go. Robert Bo Price, then the main man at receiver tonight for La Mirada. He's 140 pounds, 5'7". Matched up with Kendrick Henry there, defensive back. Second and 1. We start the fourth quarter. They hand off that time. And there's Vaca, Junior Vaca with his best run of the night. Tries to throw the stiff arm, and he's brought down. Taken on hard by Victor McClendon. So there's Vaca, who's had his troubles tonight, getting positive yards. And it's a first down for La Mirada. Given a little stiff arm that time. Looked like there was a penalty after the play, which the officials are discussing. And as you can see, we're having a face mask against La Mirada. Rarely do you see a face mask scored against a team that's running the ball. May have been after the play. There's Vaca. The cut back toward the inside. Yeah, Vaca was the one that threw the face mask. In trying to stiff arm McClendon, he grabbed the face mask. So the stiff arm, maybe not necessary, and of course it caused the penalty. And they lose the first down. It'll be 2nd and 1. So will they keep it on the ground again? Price on the right side. Meyer in there at quarterback, and now on the attempt to draw him offside, it may have worked. Movement on the line. Kava Makalo questioning. But Leuzinger did encroach, and so that'll give La Mirada the automatic first down. So right now, with the score the way it is, the inability to kick 1-point conversions and, of course, the 3 missed 2-point conversions are figuring into the scoring. But, of course, it is going to be hard to keep La Mirada off the scoreboard for a whole half. They were kept off the board in the third quarter. And here's Shavers. Shavers down the sideline and out of bounds. Shavers going off on the right. And we did not see much of La Mirada offense in the third quarter because Leuzinger got the second half kickoff and took some 8 minutes off the clock. So that third quarter was all Leuzinger. And here their defense is going to be asked to step up big. They stepped up big on the last defensive set when they had La Mirada pinned in. But if they give up 7 more, it'll make it an 8-point ball game. First and 10 for La Mirada. Price wind up on the left side. Meyer throwing to the right. And a little juke and a catch made by Jarrell Shavers. And it's those little short drops. It appears that the Leuzinger defense has a philosophy of we don't want them getting behind us. They're giving up the short stuff, and they're getting good yardage after the catch. Here, just a little short drop. Nobody on Shaver. They have Shavers deep. Kendrick Henry had him deep. So it's first and 10. La Mirada on the march again, leading by 1. Now it looks like Meyer may be changing the play at the line. Junior Vaca. Short drop. Gonna lob one for Shavers. And the one-hand catch. And is he in bounds? No, he's out of bounds. Well, if nothing else, Jarrell Shavers shows the ability to have a lot of agility with those hands. We saw him juggle one in the first half and catch one for a touchdown. This time he's able to hold on, but he's out of bounds. They're a good one-hand catch, but way out of bounds. On the coverage, Mafu Lialu. So it's second and 10. On the second down, single back in the backfield. Price lined up on the left side. Looking for Price, the ball is tipped, and it is caught. It's tipped and caught by someone from La Mirada. And it looked like Meyer caught his own tip pass. So that's a break for La Mirada. La Mirada catching his own pass. And it's going to be third and about 7. Leuzinger getting in that time and deflecting it. There's some good pressure on. Mirada got a derisive sort of Bronx cheer for the fact that he caught his own pass. Here's Eric Meyer up to the line on this big third down play. He wants to throw to the right side. And it's tipped away. One up, but there comes the flag. Flag comes in there late. Lialu one-on-one with Jarrell Shavers. And they may say that Lialu interfered with him. There are 2 flags down on the field. First one is pass interference on Leuzinger. That one's declined. We'll take a look here. Sticks his hand up. Second one is a clip. Well, there were offsetting penalties. We had pass interference on Leuzinger and an illegal block clip on La Mirada. So they basically offset, and it comes down to a do-over. But first, there'll be a timeout taken by La Mirada, and I believe that is their third and last timeout of the night. Remember, they spent 2 timeouts earlier. And we're going to take a little break here on this timeout. 10:13 to go in the game. Leuzinger down by 1 point, 35-34. We're back in a moment. (35-34), third down. And there's a danger that this telecast could get rained out. I'll explain. Our van, which is parked on the baseball field, which is behind this football stadium, the sprinklers just came on. Too bad we can't get a shot of that, but here's a big third down play. Last play, 2 offsetting penalties. Eric Meyer up to the line. He's got some time. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Pass incomplete, that time intended for Brett Erickson. He hasn't really been a target much of the night. And this will bring up a 4th down and about 8. And what will La Mirada do? Will they go for the field goal? Or will they attempt to get a 1st down here? Time not really a factor, about 10:08. And looks like they're going to bring in the field goal unit. At least that's what they're showing. Will they pull a Bill Parcells and fake? Let's see. Well, now they're lining up like they're going to go for it. So they're going to go for it on 4th down and about 7. And here's your play of the night, folks. He's got time. Those angling to the right side, and does he have it? They give him a touchdown. They say he had 2 feet in bounds, and Robert Bo Price comes up with a touchdown. Well, he was within the confines of the end zone, but the question was, did he have 2 feet come down? It comes down to a 17-yard touchdown pass. 6 more on the board for La Mirada, and we will see that one again. There's Price burning them again. Hard to see over there. There's 1 foot, 2. Oh, he's out of bounds. I think he was out of bounds. The point after touchdown was good. We're going to look at that one again, possibly. Of course, down on the field, they've got to make the call right quick. But it looked like Price may have stepped out that time. I don't know, but the referee up on it called it closely. It's 42 points now. Let's see. Okay, is he in or out? There's the catch. 1. Yeah, he's in. He was inbound, so good call. 10:02 to go. 42 to 34. It is an 8-point ball game. There's the big play of the night. La Mirada scoring on 4th down makes it an 8-point ball game, which means Leuzinger would need 6 points and a 2-point conversion just to tie. There's plenty of time to do it. And the offense had a lot of life in that 3rd quarter. They will have to do it here again in the 4th quarter. Price, that is his 4th touchdown of the night. And here's the deep kick. They're going to run it out. They run it up the middle. And Ronnie Bro has some decent yards. That's where Leuzinger will put it in play. Trailing 42-34. High-scoring night. Bro taking it right there near the goal line. Sprung through for a little extra yards right there. 1st and 10 at about the 24-yard line. Leuzinger with some time. David Guerin in there, QB all the way. They hand it off. There's Ellis. Ellis to the outside. And Ellis with a good run. He will have about 8 or 9 yards, close to a 1st down. Elias Ellis over 100 yards tonight. Ellis with 2 touchdowns. And they do give him the 1st down. Ball now at about the 34-yard line. And they hand off to Lialo. Lialo to the right side, still on his feet. Rochelle looking to throw the extra block, but he's going to be brought down. right at about the 45-yard line, and he's close to another first down. Looks like he will have it based on where they're spotting it. So Mafau Lialu, one of the featured players tonight for the Leuzinger Olympians. Everybody blocks. Guerin throws a block. There's Rochelle out there. 1st and 10. Leuzinger's own 45-yard line. And the ball is fumbled. The ball is fumbled. It is picked up by Jarrell Shavers. The inside handoff, Shavers picks it up. Can't see who coughed it up that time, but it is definitely La Mirada with the fumble recovery. There was a flag on the play, but the flag is waved off, and it's 1st and 10 for La Mirada from the 50. Shavers on the fumble recovery. There's a second fumble of the night for Leuzinger. They fumbled toward the end of the first half, and it led to a big touchdown, which made it a tougher hill to climb. And this fumble may make it an almost impossible task if La Mirada is able to score. They've got it on the Leuzinger 49-yard line. 9:03 to go in the fourth quarter. Eric Meyer goes to work. They hand it off to Vaca. Vaca going nowhere as Leuzinger tries to strip the ball. So some tough plays in this fourth quarter for Leuzinger. The third quarter was all Leuzinger as all the breaks went their way, but thus far on the night, two big plays. The fourth down attempt for a touchdown, where Meyer hit Bo Price just in the right corner of the end zone. He just did get his feet in. And then here the big fumble when Leuzinger was on a potential tying touchdown drive. Now they've got to play some tough defense right here. 2nd and 10. Meyer calling one at the line. Got some time now under a rush, and there's Price again. Price doesn't want to go down, and he finally is tackled. It looks like he has the first down as the rush came in hard that time. Grant Roberts tried to lower the boom on Eric Meyer. And as you see, he gets in there and puts the hit on, and there's Price on the catch. Taken down by McClendon. The crowd is booing because they did not give him forward progress on the first down, which makes it 3rd and short. 3rd down and about 1. Clock at just 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Did not give him forward progress that time. So now let's see, will they go to the ground for the first down? Single back in the backfield. They need just 1 yard. They're going to go straight ahead, and it looks like they will have the first down. Eric Meyer is sticking it across for the first down. Eric Meyer at 6'2", so all he has to do is lean forward, and the drive will continue for La Mirada. Time becoming a factor. Well, it looks like now there was some question as to whether it was, but now they give him the first down. Looked like for a second there was going to be some question as to the spot. And from Leuzinger's point of view, they definitely need a stop on this drive. Eric Meyer to throw again. Got the little man Price. Price down the sideline. He may score, and he is going to score. He is slipperier than a fried fish on a Friday night in the state of Louisiana. They cannot bring him down, and he may have just put the dagger in the coffin for the Leuzinger Olympians. He set the tone for the ball game. First pass of the night. Little flare out on the right side, and he gets the ball, and nobody can tackle him. Gets by 2 people, almost makes the defenders hit each other, gets by a third, and when he is in the open field, it appears that no one knows how to tackle him. So the 1-point conversion coming up. This is good. 49-34. So the big fumble leading to another touchdown. And for Price, that's 5 touchdowns on the night. And for Meyer, that is his 6th touchdown pass. So 2 situations where fumbles have hurt Leuzinger near the end of halves. The fumble near the end of the first half led to a score, and this fumble here, when they possibly were on their way to tying the ball game up, leads to another score. And it's a 15-point ball game. That means Leuzinger needs 2 scores. And of course that means they're going to need some sort of defensive stop somewhere along the way, which they have not been able to do too much of tonight. This one will be run out. Lealu's running it up the middle. And Lealu has it at about the 27, 28-yard line. That's where Leuzinger will put it into play, 1st and 10, with 6:27 to go in the ball game. Not much time. 2 scores are needed and at least 1 defensive stop. Wobbly end-over-end kick. This is the stage in the ball game where fatigue definitely becomes a factor. A lot of the Leuzinger players going both ways. Oh, when it was 35-34, with 18 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, the La Mirada crowd was very nervous. And their team urged them to come to life. They came to life. The team came to life, aided by some penalties. Now they're going to go to the air. The pass is complete. First pass completion of the night. And some good open field running. Good open field running by Ronnie Bro. So first completion of the night for the Leuzinger Olympians. It leads to a 1st down. Now this is one of those situations where they are somewhat forced into a passing situation. So let's see how they'll handle it. It's 1st and 10 for Leuzinger at their own 46-yard line. Tight formation again. Go to the inside handoff. And there's Ellis. Ellis with a big gain. And he's close to another 1st down. Bias Ellis, it appears, does pick up the 1st down, depending on the spot. Yes, he does have it. The inside handoff. Willie Reynolds throwing the block. First and 10 from about the 44 of La Mirada. Clock continues to run. Guerin wants to throw again. Pump fakes, now over the middle, incomplete. Nobody open, almost an ineligible man downfield also it appeared. 6:20 to go. That stops the clock. Leuzinger winning last week against Camarillo, 42-21. Running in against one of the tougher opponents that they will face all year. Of course, there's the annual clash with Peninsula, which will be at Peninsula this year. Keep in mind, they're still in the division. There's the double reverse. Victor McClendon, even though the Bay League moved to Division III, of course, Peninsula is still in the division, and they are one of the odds-on favorites early in the year in the South Bay. There's the old double reverse. Also in Division III, Miracosta is one of the teams that have been predicted to do well. If you take a look at a CIF preseason poll, here's a long pass and an interception. Ball is underthrown and intercepted. So that's the 2nd interception on the night, and it's picked off there, that time by Anthony Veal. Veal on the interception, and that may just end the night for the Leuzinger Olympians. Of course, passing is not one of the things that they do well. He was under pressure and covered well that time by Veal. Looking for Lealu. And that's the 2nd interception of the night, so the passing numbers will look abysmal. 5:41 to go. 49-34. And can La Mirada put another nail in the coffin? Veal with the interception. Well, we were talking about the rankings this year, some of the preseason poll rankings. as they go to Vaca, who has not had a very successful night running the ball tonight. The success for La Mirada has been on the pass. La Mirada ranked number 1 in the preseason in Division 6. In Division 3, where Leuzinger will be this year. As you see, Vaca meeting the wall of Olympian defenders. From the Bay League, Peninsula, of course, is ranked number 4. Miracosta did not make the top 10, but they did receive honorable mention. Leuzinger did not receive honorable mention or make the top 10 in the CIF preseason. But in the Daily Breeze preseason, they are as high as number 4 based on last week's performance. And there's the completion made on the catch by Sammy Orr. Sam Orr up close to the first down on the far side. And it's a timeout taken by Leuzinger. That's their first of the night. Timeout will stop the clock. 4:47 to go in the ball game. Well, the Daily Breeze ranks teams in the South Bay as Orr goes up high to get the catch. And starting the season, Leuzinger was ranked number 6. Based on their win last week, they moved up to number 4. Daily Breeze ranks teams in the CIF Southern section where Leuzinger plays, and also the CIF LA City section. And in their rankings, Carson is ranked number 1 overall. Of the 10 teams that are ranked by them, a number of them are from the city section. Carson, Banning, Westchester, they are all from the LA City section. San Pedro, the highest ranked team from the CIF Southern section, according to their polling. And actually San Pedro, I believe, well, we'll check on that one. Check on the rankings later, but rankings mean nothing. You have to do it on the field. That's what coaches will tell you. And a lot of season to go. League play will begin first week in October. Month of September is when you try to get, well, you can take 2 approaches. You can pad your schedule with easy teams that you know you can win against, or you can try to make your schedule as tough as possible to get yourself playoff tested. This is certainly a tough opponent tonight. Junior Vaca's got the first down. Still on his feet as he's finally punched down by Victor McClendon. So Junior Vaca's most successful run of the night. He's had a tough night. And with the ball game appearing to be in hand, this sort of situation now for the next 4 minutes or so where La Mirada Matadors can work on something like the running game. Obviously, the passing game is very sound. And they are definitely going to be one of the favorites to win a title in Division 6 based on what we've seen tonight. So John Melly, she's concerned about the running attack, obviously. Head coach John Melly can concentrate on that run. They've got an I formation, 2 backs in there now. And there's Junior Vaca again. Junior Vaca for short yardage. La Mirada will be looking for that Division 6 title. And a game like tonight, evidence of the fact that Division 1 Division 1 is probably the toughest. I mean, there's no question about that. Some of the teams, Mater Dei and Long Beach Poly and the likes of those schools, but Divisions 2 and on down, competition is very good. Second down and about 9. Wants to throw again, and this time it's incomplete. They've hooked up all night. Meyer and Robert Bo Price, at that time they're off. Take a look at the remaining schedule for La Mirada. They have Fountain Valley and Mayfair coming up next couple of weeks. So they will be striving for that Division 6 title where they are ranked number 1. Leuzinger Olympians will be trying to get a Division 3 possible title. Hart is ranked number 1 in most preseason polls for Division 3. Here's a third down pass attempt, and it's incomplete. Pass broken up that time by Kendrick Henry of Leuzinger Olympians. Kendrick Henry and Bo Roberts. They've matched up all night, and it has been the big night for Bo Roberts. He is small and slippery, and he gets the ball in the open field. He makes tacklers hit each other. He makes them miss. And he has come up big tonight. And here on the high school level, he's a fun player to watch. Here's a punt. Upcoming punt attempt. Nate Ortel, who was hammered on the last punt. This time he gets a wobbly one off. They're going to let it bounce, and it'll drop dead at about the 26-yard line. That's where Leuzinger is going to put it into play with 3:12 to go in the ball game. 15-point deficit for Leuzinger. Not been a very prosperous fourth quarter for them, to say the least. Unlike the third. Had their opportunities, but not able to do it. Fumble, interception. Got it down to 1 at the end of the third quarter. But Meyer to Price on 2 hookups. One of them coming on a 4th down attempt. And they've had the big plays tonight when they've needed it. Here's Guerin going to attempt to throw. And that's going to be the 3rd interception of the night. Shavers with his 2nd interception. There's a flag on the play. It looked like someone for Leuzinger held. And so we'll see what the flag, it's looked like holding on Leuzinger, which they'll probably decline. And there, as you see, the tackle, the takedown. As they took Adam Watson down. So the penalties declined, the interception will stand. It's another turnover, and this ball game, for all intents and purposes, is over for the Leuzinger Olympians, and they will have lost their first on the year. Well, again, it's one of those sort of situations, as you see the press box here at Goodman Stadium. I am in the middle of that someplace, and then that press box, if you care. One of those sort of situations, as Rufus Washington would say, you've got to have the ability to do things like kick the ball deep, kick extra points, and you've got to be able to pass the ball. You have to have the ability to make the opponent respect your passing game, at least. Respect the threat of it. And speaking of the pass, that's slightly overthrown. Price looking for his 6th touchdown of the night. Meyer's already thrown 6 touchdowns. Price has scored 5. And it's Bo Price, big play player. Haven't heard much of Chris Rudiger tonight. He was in there early in the ball game. We saw him on defense. He, of course, a player that's committed to Stanford next year for La Mirada. Haven't heard much of him on offense. He's a running back and a linebacker. 2nd and 10 from the 49. They'll hand this off to Junior Vaca for short yards. And Leuzinger is going to take timeout number 2. That'll stop the clock with 2:49. And some of the crowd here at La Mirada starts to stir. Want to head for the parking lot. Get an early, so there is no traffic out here. Nothing to worry about. Only have to worry about it during rush hour. There's Junior Vaca on the short yardage. Next week, we are back in the South Bay. We'll be at Hawthorne. Hawthorne with a home game, non-conference game against Wainimi. And Rufus will probably be with us. Rufus Washington this week is away at the LA Business Expo, where he is giving business advice, I hope, or doing something. He's at one of the booths there. And he'll be back with us next week. Hawthorne new coach James Swain. James Swain, an assistant for many years. Dan Robbins no longer with the program at Hawthorne, so for the 2nd week in a row, we will see coaches who are in their first year at the helm. Mike Witt, first year at the helm for Leuzinger. Going to lose his first game on the year. He won successfully last week at Camarillo. And there's the throw out to the left side, and that time not able to make the catch. Jarrell Shavers has it go in and out of his hands. Brings up a 4th down and about 9, and they will go to the punt again, so Leuzinger will get the ball back. at the 2:49 mark. Chance to maybe do a little something. Of course, what better time than now to work on that passing game. A little bit of redemption, maybe a touchdown and an onside kick attempt. Ortel back to punt again. Had a little problems with those snaps. This time he gets a good snap. And he gets a pretty decent kick away. That's Lealu, tackled around the ankles. And they're going to keep him hemmed in right at about the 10-yard line. That's Ryan Whittle on the stop of Lealu. So tonight, you fans of Leuzinger football have gotten an opportunity to see what the running game will look like. You've gotten a chance to see some of the new players. Of course, you know Elias Ellis, but you've met that man there, number 5, Mafu Lealu. You've also seen Ronnie Bro and George Cooley, who are going to be some of the featured backs. David Guerin in at quarterback, has an arm, but this Leuzinger Olympian team is going to have to work on passing effectiveness. Now, every team that they play on their schedule is not going to be as tough, of course, as La Mirada is tonight. I mean, the schedule gets somewhat easier from here on in. As the rush comes on from the outside, Guerin just going to have to try to make something out of nothing there. That time, Adam Watson came in from the defensive end spot. Miracosta will be tough. Of course, Peninsula perennially tough. And if Leuzinger gets into the playoffs, you have to look at teams it's now Division III, so they don't have the Diamond Bars and Uplands and Ayalas to worry about. Now they just have Hart, St. Francis, Notre Dame, Antelope Valley, and teams like that to worry about, other teams in other divisions in Division III. So it is going to be a long year, but there are going to be some questions based on some of the performance tonight. Leuzinger winning a timeout. This will be their third and final timeout. Clock stopped at 1:43 to go in the ball game. You know Leuzinger will be able to run the ball. They've shown the ability to do it tonight. But they're going to have to play a lot better defense against the pass than they've shown tonight. That is for sure. Not every team that they will play has this tough a passing attack. So if you want to look for positives, again, they will have a good running attack. Ellis looks good. They will have a couple of other backs in Bo and Cooley and Lealu that they can go to. David Guerin does have a good arm. And their defense stopped the run fairly well. I mean, they've pretty much kept Junior Vaca frustrated all night. And we haven't heard from Chris Rudiger, the highly touted back who's headed for Stanford. But the negatives tonight, giving up the yards on the pass. Missed tackles, allowing someone like Bo Roberts to slip off the line like an eel. Getting short passes and scampering downfield, making tacklers miss. Sliding off of people, that's got to be a concern. Putting very little pressure on the quarterback. I mean, they did well at points when they had La Mirada pinned back in their own territory. They did well on that one drive where they recovered the fumble in the end zone, but not very good pressure on the quarterback for most of the night. And of course, the passing game gets a D- to say the least. And the kicking game is not even there. Here's a pass attempt. At least he hasn't been sacked tonight. And that's going to be interception number 3 or 4, I believe. Well, I take that D- away. We're going to have to give the passing attack an F. So those are the questions. A team that wants to compete, a team that wants to make the playoffs, that wants to possibly win the Bay League, beating out Peninsula, and a team that would like to possibly go deep into the Division III playoffs. Some of the questions will have to be addressed. The positives are there, but to be a complete football team on any level, some of those questions must be answered before the end of the season. For La Mirada, as they get the ball in offense, they'll just take the kneel down. Positives for them is you see a very strong passing attack. They have got a good quality quarterback in Eric Meyer. They certainly have receivers that can get the ball. He and Robert Price work well. Jarrell Shavers has worked well. The question for them has got to be the ability to run the ball. Their defense at times had problems stopping the run, Of course, there is not much of a passing attack to really stop. The interceptions are kind of by default. They do show the ability to put some pressure on the quarterback, but they've got to be concerned about their lack of ability to run tonight and about the ability to stop a tough running attack. But they are favored to win the title in Division 6. And they go to 2-0 tonight on another tough performance, putting up 49 points on the board. Fine ball game for Meyer. 6 touchdown passes, 5 touchdown catches for Price. For the Leuzinger Olympians, Elias Ellis. He will pick up 2 touchdowns tonight. Lialu had a touchdown for Leuzinger. And Guerin had a touchdown on the fumble recovery, but Leuzinger is going to go to 1-1, La Mirada to 2-0. Leuzinger goes home next week. And this clock is just going to wind down. There'll be 10 seconds to go on the clock. They'll get the gun ready. And this one is going to be history. So there's your final, ladies and gentlemen. 49-34, La Mirada with a home victory here tonight. They're 2-0, Leuzinger 1-1, both of these games non-conference. We mentioned the plus and minuses here tonight. Next week, we will be at Hawthorne. Hawthorne Cougars will be taking on Wainimi. That'll be our first Hawthorne telecast of the year. So plan to be with us. Rufus Washington hopefully should be back. As the teams shake hands in the middle of the field after this fine ball game played here tonight, there was some excitement, you would have to say. But some questions that have to be answered for both teams. More questions for Leuzinger, obviously, than La Mirada. Well, this is Dave Marks for Channel 22 Sports. And I speak for Tom Strickfadden, our director, and everyone in the production crew. Is it still raining in the truck, fellas? They took care of the sprinkler situation. All right, that's good. This is a good facility out here at La Mirada. Very good field. Final score tonight. Leuzinger Olympians losing to La Mirada, 49-34. Dave Marks speaking for Rufus Washington, who will be back next week, and everyone at Channel 22 saying so long. See you next week at Hawthorne. Good night, everybody.